Hi, my name is Cassidy Reynolds, and I'm the project leader for the University Hiking Club website project. In this video, we're going to talk about what we've accomplished so far, what tasks we still need to do, and the milestones we've met. So, as you can see here, this is the homepage for our website. The URL is alabamacollegetrails.gulfcoastwebsites.com, and it's been created using PHP, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I'm specifically going to talk about the criteria we've met throughout the making of this website. Now, at the top of the homepage, there are various links to navigate the website. The hiking page here offers various places to hike. The resources page gives various important resources to hikers. The calendar page has various events, and there's also a contact us page and a how to join page. You can also see that the homepage contains various images and other things that you would expect on the homepage of a website, like information about the site, some featured hikes, including some nice images, and the ability to subscribe to a newsletter. Now, on the hiking locations page, clicking any one of the shown trails will bring you to their respective official website so the user can get access to more information. Next, we have the resources for hikers page. And on this website, here you can see various images of various items hikers may need, and clicking one will bring you to an online store where you can purchase these items. There's also an embedded YouTube video that gives information to beginning hikers, and there's also a list to supplement this. Next, we have the calendar page. It contains club and hiking events, and clicking an event will bring up a registration form that allows the US or the user to RSVP for an event here. So you just enter your email, RSVP, and you're added to the event. Now you can add an event by clicking any day, and it brings up a form to submit events. Just enter the correct information, and it will be added to the form. Next, we can also download the calendar, and it can also be exported to a database. Next, we have the contact form. And on the contact form, you can enter in your name, phone number, email, a message, and submit. It sends to univhikingusm@gmail.com. Finally, there's a page, and the user can submit an application where the user enters their name, cell phone, email, social media information, the number of years of experience they have, whether they've been a trail guide or not, any extra information, and it sends to that same email. So overall, we've met the minimum criteria for the website in terms of functionality. The only things we really need to do is aesthetic and just some final adjustments. So, for instance, on the hiking page, you can see that there's some issues with the styling. That's minor. And maybe some aesthetics added to the resources page. But beyond that, we've met all of our milestones really, and all we've got left to do are some finishing touches.
Hello, my name is Brian Hudson, and today I will be talking about the Alabama Hiking Trails website and my contributions to it so far. Uh, I am my focus is the SQL developer and backend, but also this is, team project, so I have contributed to some of the HTML content on some of the pages, but my focus is an SQL developer and for the backend. Uh, Now, when Ralph made the site, it came with the default database, which is hosted by Inos, and we created the Alabama Trail events, as you can see here. and I created the application and message tables, and the application table is supposed to store data from the how to join page that submits an application, uh, which of course that's also supposed to send an email, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to also store it in SQL. So here you can see application just has primary key is just the ID. It's the same for message as well. Because currently, right now, it's just these are just very basic tables. If I expand on this and make any tables that join to these, then I will go back and change these primary keys and probably put in secondary keys to what we need. Uh, for the application table, a lot of it's varchar. The years of hiking is int. The phone's char, and the has been guide is just a bit, which is a 1 or a 0, just to know if they've been a guide. And the message table is some varchar for username and email, and the message is a pretty big varchar for whatever, because messages can get pretty lengthy. So that is it for my presentation. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Brown, and for this project, I was the JavaScript developer. I also did a little bit of front end, including the cards you see on the home page, and also the weather JavaScript API, which is the first thing I'm going to talk about. So I used OpenWeatherMap to allow myself to add the current temperature of the cities that each trail resides in. That way, a user could go online and see how the weather is. There's also a forecast that predicts up to 3 hours whether or not it's going to rain. If the percent of rain is 0%, then you'll just see no rain today. Otherwise, you'll see the percent of rain chance. The values of these all update each time the page is reloaded. So the information should always be very up to date and very accurate. And yeah, I just think that this is like a great way for users to be able to access the website and see if it's a good day to go hiking. And perhaps if it's not a good day to go hiking at one trail, maybe it is at another trail. Because as you can see, these temperatures can vary quite a bit. Alabama is a pretty tall state, I guess, is a good way to put it. All right, the next thing I'd like to talk about is the user uploaded photo gallery. So I had this idea that for our join page, we could have below the form like a photo gallery, like a light box or a carousel of photos that users could upload. And the idea is that I think it would be a good thing to persuade people on the join page to join. And a good way to do that would be to allow members of the hiking club to upload photos of, trails that Alabama has to offer. And the users can see what Alabama has to offer. And it would just be a great way for people to see how beautiful some of these trails really are. And so currently, right now, I have set it up to where you can upload a file and the server will take it. It'll rename it, I believe, to like user photo 1, user photo 2, etc. And it will then add the file information to a gallery table in our database. And I plan to use that gallery table to implement the Lightbox gallery. Now, I was pretty close to getting the Lightbox gallery working before this midterm, but most of my trouble came from trying to add the libraries necessary through a CDN. And I think I'm just going to have to add them locally to the project to get it to work. And that should be done for sure by the end of the semester. So might be a good time to go on the page. As you can see, the different current temperatures here. You can also see that each card has the trail as well as like a good photo of the trail. And I'd like to show you the join and perhaps even show you how it works. So I'd like to have the carousel in between where you upload the image and the form here. But currently you can choose a file. Let's do test. And then we can upload it. As you can see, it takes us to upload.php. The file test.jpg has been uploaded. We can say OK, and then in 1 second, it'll redirect us to join. And now, as you can see, I've already added 2. So we've got user photo 1 and user photo 2. We can click this and we've got user photo 3. And I'm going to have to clear all of those out of the database because all of them are just tests. But yeah, hopefully what I plan to have done by the end of the project is just a lot more animations, things that JavaScript is really good at doing, as well as the gallery. I'd also like to add the weather API to all of our featured trails in our hiking locations here, perhaps in a similar way to how they're named here. And yeah, thank you.
This is the calendar page for our Alabama College Trails website. As you can see, I have this open here. Here's the actual calendar itself. You're able to create events, RSVP events, or you can download all the events at the bottom here with this download events button. This was made using the plugin fullcalendar.io. It provides really good functionality. You get monthly, weekly, daily views. Clicking an event, you have a custom. You can make custom functions for clicking an actual date or clicking an actual event, which was good. So as you can see here, clicking this event gives me the option to add that event into our database. We got a start time, end time. We can add a URL, title, and the location or address. Clicking an actual event itself lets you RSVP. You'll enter your email address here, and then that will go to the the Gmail address given to us for this assignment. Clicking the download events button will download a CSV file. It's basically an Excel file which shows all of the events. And I'll jump into the code now. Alright, so here's the HTML for the calendar. Got a little parallax section that I threw together there. This is where the calendar is initialized. This is the export button here. Then this is our RSVP pop-up. A lot of the styling here is done with Bootstrap, as you can see, if you're familiar with it. Here is the add event pop-up. Works the same way as the RSVP. Over to the JavaScript. Quick rundown of the JavaScript. Initially, we initialize the calendar. We do a post to retrieve all events, and then using those events, we put them all into a JSON file. And then right here, we initialize the calendar with that JSON file to load all of the events in there. Here's the function to RSVP. You notice that we are using the same events.php file for all of this, just to simplify things. The export button right here. So I'll go over to that events file. So first we make sure that it's an actual post, that it's an Ajax post here. For sending event, we got all the code right here for that. And then using our database class, we set that event. Next, register for events, right here, all this stuff. We basically pull all of our variables, we put them into a message body, so on and so forth, from whatever the email address is given, and then we send that email and return an appropriate message in a JSON array. going to univhikingusm@gmail.com, which is the Gmail account that was given to us. I also got to go into my private email just so that I know that that worked. And then this is the function that loads eventually. It just gets all the events and sends them over to the JavaScript to be loaded into the calendar. Back over to our, our database class. Run through that real quick. It's using a PDO connection, PHP data objects. Here's the constructor. We connect to the database here. Then we create our events table. That's all done right here. If it's not already there, it's made. This is the function to send an event, as you can see. Using the table Alabama Trails events. Execute that, returns true or false. And then getting all the events right here. And then the export button. So how that works, we basically create an output file on the server, output file.csv. We open it, we get all of our events from the database, then we just iterate through all of those events, delimitate them, and then we close that file out and we return the file here. And that, all we got to do to get a download window is to just load that location using JavaScript for our file. That'll return the file. That goes to that. All right, that's a quick rundown, but that is the long and the short of it. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Christian Patson, and I was responsible for the hiking page, also known as the Where We Hike page. So here you see the header that lists out hiking locations, great hiking locations, and this is across all the additional other pages. And so if you scroll through here, you will see featured trails as the header, and you'll see every specific trail. This is mainly for the top 10 that are displayed in Alabama. So all this data is coming from alltrails.com in the form of image, URL, as well as the name specifically. So if I were to click on one of these trails, I'll go directly to that trail specifically on alltrails.com. And so if I go back here, all of this data here is being presented into the PHP file to load this page through a JSON. So with that in mind, everything is modular and always able to be updated or in a sense mutable. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rodney Richards, and I am the backend developer for the resources page, part of the project. For the PHP file, I'm using a combination of HTML and CSS for a normal language, and I'm using bootstraps for formatting purposes or customization. From the top of the website, the main ID background image will just greet the user, whoever's using it. And directly under that is resources, the main meat of the web page, or that page particularly. Each of the four items listed below, boots, backpacks, water bottles, and trekking pole, I have them in a container along with the command image fluid that'll give them more fluidity, I guess, more attention whenever you hover over them. They also have a clickable, well, if you click them, you'll be able to be redirected to another page where you'll be presented with more options for that particular item. Below that is a YouTube link, but I will save that for later. The H3 listings, well, I have a list used for H3 at the bottom of the page that'll give you more item options. I still have to extend that as well, but for changes and fixes, I'm looking to integrate a text description for under beginners. add more redirection items, and I believe that's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Moran, and I worked on the Join Us page. I've been trying to give it a more formatted feel for it to seem more welcoming. However, I'm planning on adding a few more things to the web page before I start helping with the back end of the database storage. I've been primarily using the PHP based language and Bootstrap to format it. And right now I have the text boxes, the radio buttons, and the text area implemented. For the final implementation, I'm wanting to have some errors and required fields with non-required fields, such as the phone number not being a required field because the email address is there. And I know that there are some applicants out there that would rather have their email address rather than their phone number, just because they don't like giving their phone number out. However, their email address, they can go ahead and filter out everything. Um, Another non-required field is the text area. It's more of a tell us more about you, just for the people that are looking over the applicants have a better understanding of what this person is. That way it's a more friendly feel. Like you're giving yourself a quick summary of yourself to the people that allows them to know more about you, more about the things you like to do and the things you don't like to do. I also plan to add in an image or two just to have the website feel more welcoming. I'm also planning to have the website itself handle any exception handling errors, such as like if a user puts their name in the phone number tab instead of an actual number, or if the email address doesn't have an @ symbol or anything after the @ symbol. Just things of that nature to help with the storage of the database and just helping applicants, if they miss something. And then after all is said and done, after I'm done with the layout of the web page and the errors, I plan on helping with the back end side of it and connecting it to the database for storage.